So what is this contraption we have behind you?
That is my billboard and banners, Matt, from my last fight. KSC 20, they're one of the sponsors of the show. They throw these out in the ring and they put the stool on them when we're in the corner. They
That's
use them for all
tight.
kind of stuff like that, but it's so that they're like a non-slip surface, and then it absorbs the blood or sweat or whatever or water that's in the corner, so you're not having slips and stuff.
I thought it was a wheel you were gonna spin on my show to see whose ass you were gonna whoop
But
next.
man, yeah, no, I think it's supposed to look like a casino coin or something like
That's
that. But
awesome.
yeah, no, it's pretty cool. They gave me some, so I use one for like a floor mat at my gym, and I got a couple of them hung up on the walls and stuff. So, but they got little coaster size ones and stuff. You can order them for your business too. It's like you send them your logo and they send it out. It's like a recycled rubber material or something. Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
legit. Check it out. I think it's
Cool.
billboardmats.com.
Have you seen Full Metal Dojo's Ring of Torture or whatever it is? So, do you know what Full Metal Dojo is? First of all, they're insane.
No,
Work with BKFC, I believe. So they're like a oh, he's sipping the bud. I love it. They're this like meme fight company, right? So they have literal fights in phone booths. Like they put a phone
I've
booth.
heard of it. I think.
Yeah, and they have like headbutts only, and it's like the most ridiculous thing ever. They have this one thing. The dude has a wheel with a whole bunch of wild fights on it. He spins it, and whatever the two fighters land on, that's what they're fighting. So if it's a parking lot fight or if it's a liftweight fight, it's the craziest thing
Yeah,
ever.
man.
So man, we've been trying to link up for a while now. Your last win, BKFC 20. I missed it, but I watched it live, and yeah, you beat the daylights out of Jason Fish, man. How did that feel? You get back in the win column.
Man, it felt great. Not so much that, well, I mean, obviously it feels good to have that good of a win, but just to go in there and finally feel myself when I went in there and fought, because like for a while I've been telling people, I'm like, man, I'm a lot better than you've ever
Yeah.
seen. I'm a lot better than I've ever been able to show. And like I had some fights like the Jason Fan fight. I felt
Mm-hmm.
like that. I felt good, and I was in that zone, but you know, it only lasted 25 seconds, so you didn't get to see much of it. But it was because I was in that zone, and I saw the opportunity right off the bat, and I took it. So, and with Fish, you know, he's a lot more durable guy, pretty tall. I mean, not tall, pretty tough. Thick-headed fella. So he was able to weather the storm a little bit longer, and he had a little more power. So and there was a little bit more feeling out process between the two of us, I think, than there was, with the Jason Fan deal. And but I went in there with the mindset of, like I do when I go spar and I fight people, and in my head it was like it's going to 2 rounds. It's not ending in the first. So it was like, even
You
if I have
almost
him
did.
hurt, I'm going to back off and back up. I'm going to be patient. We're going to take this shit into the second round, and I'm going to wear him out like that. Because a guy like that, he's, like I said, he's not the most skilled boxer, but he can knock you out. You've obviously seen him knock people like the fuck out. So
Right.
you don't ever want to rush it. And and it was kind of like, in the past, I always told myself it was almost like a competition to see how fast I could get it done and how fast I can get out of there. And that shit gets me in trouble. And,
Right.
that's where
I feel like
it's really bit me in the ass.
I'm about to say, is that
Well,
the Lieben fight, you think?
oh, 100% on that. It wasn't so much about, man, there was more variables in that than just
Yeah.
the being too rushed on it. But yeah, man, you get in a hurry and you're telling yourself, oh, I'm going to knock him out in the first round. Every second that ticks by, you're just like, oh man, all right, that's one more I didn't get him, that type of deal. And and that really is counterproductive to my style. My style is better when the pace is a little more slowed down. Where over 5 rounds, if you can't take me out and I can make it 5 rounds, I'm going to beat you. And
Yeah.
the longer I'm in there, the better I'm getting at fighting you. It's just as when I'm in there, I'm like a DVR, bro. when we're fighting, I'm recording. And every second that I get with you is a second that I'm getting better. So as I fight, the first round, the second round I'm coming out, it's going to be a different move. It's going to be a different adaptation between me and my coach. But I fight like that in general. In the middle of a round, if I move, even if I don't get caught with it, but I feel like you could have caught me with it if you even recognized it, I change that shit, right in the middle of it. So, and that's how I fight, and that's usually how I spar. It's just in the past, I've always kind of gotten too rushed and let the anxiety of it, get to me instead of just taking my time and working through it.
Right. Now, I think at the end of the first, it was you had him in trouble and the bell rung. You told the ref something. What did you tell the ref?
Yeah, I said, man, hey, what's it going to take? And he said, it was close. So he said, it was close. I was like, damn, because it's one thing when you hit somebody good, and it's another when they actually turn and like walk away. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like at one point when he went back like that, I almost thought he was kind of out on his feet, like was gonna fall or something. So I didn't want to just like bust him or anything like that. He wasn't really defending himself, and it wasn't in hindsight, it's just like I was trying to contain the beast. It was like I know how I am. And I know, like, if I land a good one, sometimes the tiger gets out the cage. And it was like, no, just, back up. He ain't going nowhere. We can do it again. And, but then when I did jump in on him, because he kept walking away, I was like, all right, let's go. And then I came in and stuck him with the solid right. I mean, my shots were landing pretty good. But the way he was covering up, he was just holding, kind of protecting his vitals. So, I wasn't going to hit his chin to where it just drops him, so I was kind of catching him right in the ear and top of the forehead and stuff. So, I mean, at that point, he's really just taking abuse. But, the ref did say a couple times, he said, if you don't throw back, I'm going to stop it. And as soon as he did, he threw the right hand. It was almost like as soon as I heard the ref say that, I was like, here it comes. And he threw that right hand at me. So, but man, I was happy with the fight. In hindsight, going back looking at the video, there's always a lot. There's a lot of things that I could have corrected. Like I said, just because he didn't capitalize on them didn't mean they weren't mistakes. So, there's little stuff like that, and I feel like I'm just getting better every day.
So, give me the scoop when you're coming back.
Whatever they call man. Yeah, I don't know. We last time I talked to anybody was concerning when I'm fighting was I haven't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I talked to Dave a couple days after the fight. I messaged him and asked him, and he said, we got something coming up, get with you soon. And then Nate kind of told me the same thing, but besides that, I haven't really heard anything. So, I don't know. I think they're kind of waiting, or I don't know if they're waiting, but they're having to wait to kind of see what's going on with the Hector Lombard situation. I know that he had gotten suspended in Florida. So so I don't know, maybe if there was a recent ruling in that or something, because I saw today they were promoting him fighting. It was supposed to be. It was on a podcast I was on. The guy told me that he was facing suspension, 6-month suspension or something for that shot on Lorenzo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Man, so are they talking about you stepping in to fight for Hector? You thinking?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't even know who he's supposed to be facing.
I don't know if they're wanting to, if they're just going to wait till he's not suspended or what, or maybe there was a recent ruling or something on when he's coming back, because they put a video out today promoting Hector, fighting, and that was on BKFC's deal, so that wasn't his Instagram, or maybe they just reposted or something, but it came from them, so obviously they wouldn't be promoting him if they didn't plan on him getting back in there soon, I wouldn't think. So I really don't know. I don't know. Hopefully something comes up. I mean, if it's one of those things, like, I know right now what it seems like is I really have no idea what's going on with Hector. but I know that Lorenzo wants to fight Hector. And that
Yeah.
is the only person he wants to fight. So, which I understand, wanting to, if he feels like he's earned his shot at a title, he shouldn't, have to go fight somebody else before he gets it. But I'm of the mentality of like, I'm not going to be young forever. I'm not getting any younger over here. I'm going to get as many fights in as I can. And if I feel like I'm meant to be the champion, then it doesn't matter how many fights it takes. I'm gonna get my fights in, and I'm gonna clear the division out and just keep working my way through it. If if I fight somebody else, then that's really just another person they can't say deserves it better than me. At this point, I'm number 2, so the only person I can fight to move up would be number 1 or the champion, and neither one of them want to fight me. So, what do I do? I can only fight down. So at that point, I've got more to lose than they do. But or different weight class, if something like that came up. I don't know, man. I'm training now like I got a fight coming up. So hopefully, whatever happens, I'll be ready for it.
How'd you fare in the hurricane?
It wasn't bad. It missed us pretty good. We just kind of got some wind, a little bit of rain.
We got hammered, bro. In my neighborhood, well, my house was fine. I lost a fence. That's about it. But my neighborhood had like trees on houses and stuff. It was nuts. I was like, oh my gosh, terrible.
Man, that's wild. Yeah, we didn't. It ended up like it missed us right at the last minute. It kind of cut and went northeast, but
we're used to it. We're down here.
Yeah. We got hit pretty hard by Hurricane Laura last year, but it was Laura, and then we had another one like a couple months later that was pretty crazy.
I got a brother that lives in Monroe. Have you seen not BK Gamebred FC yet? Bare Knuckle MMA.
I haven't seen a fight in it yet. I know. It seems like I watched like the finish with Jason Knight and the highlights of Jason Knight fighting Gamebred, but I haven't watched. It's going on Friday, right?
I believe, this first weekend in October. Yeah, it's coming on. Should be on the BKFC app.
In Biloxi. Man, that'd be cool.
I'm missing it too.
You would think I could just get like some tickets or something. Like maybe they'd give me like VIP treatment. That'd be cool. But it's not gonna happen.
Calling my family. Like, hey,
that's not gonna happen. That's a funny thing. I've really gotten into the bare knuckle boxing thing as far as like fascinated by it. And it's just fascinating to me. I love it. Practicing different stuff and working back and forth. And then people are like, well, why don't you do the bare knuckle MMA? Well, here's the thing. Bare knuckle MMA isn't any different than regular MMA. I'm just going to tell y'all. It's not. It's not any different. The only difference is that they don't have gloves, so it's going to make jiu-jitsu harder. Jiu-jitsu having gloves on helps a lot with your jiu-jitsu as far as isolating a limb. But they still wrap the wrist, so you got a little bit of friction there, but not like a glove. But it's the same, bro. Like, hey, the biggest worry when I was in an MMA fight was not the hands. That was not the biggest worry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm worried about getting elbowed. I'm worried about getting kneed, kicked in the shin. I'm like, shit, man. Like, especially if you're on the ground, you're not worried about getting punched, really. It's you're worried about elbows, something like that. So it's pretty much, but in boxing, in straight boxing, there's a lot of differences, because now your hands are your only weapon. And now you've taken the only protection you have off of those hands.
Mm-hmm.
In MMA, there's guys that don't even box. Like how bad would it affect Khabib to go bare knuckle?
Oh, it would,
like, well, fuck it. Like raw. He could maul you and then elbow you to death. He would never punch you. He would just bitch slap people and elbow. So I mean, you're gonna see. I think in bare knuckle MMA, you're gonna have people that are more. It's more like they're going to be less dependent on punches than they are, in traditional MMA. But, in bare knuckle, it's different because it's all you got.
Yeah. I wouldn't dare ask you to go do bare knuckle MMA. You're number 2 in the world in bare knuckle boxing right now. You found your sport, and you're hella good at it.
And it's getting fun. I feel like I'm getting better too.
Getting fun. So was it fun?
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And it was over before I even realized it. You can see after the fight, when it gets over, I kind of turn and look, and I'm like, it's over? I'm like, that was, okay, all right. I can celebrate now. Hey, damn, okay. I thought that was going to be a much bigger deal. Like, God, dog.
So what you think about the video I made about you, the little technical readout I did? You're a wizard.
Appreciate it. But I got one correction. That left never really landed.
It didn't land? Oh, man. I'm going to have to go take it out now. Wow, no bump, nothing.
You're going to zoom it. You're going to zoom it. Because they said that. Been watching the fight before you made that technical knockout, because they said that on the live feed. Chris Lieben said that. They're like, oh, that's a good left. And then they were like, they were impressed with my ability to take the left. And then
you rolled with it.
It never hit me. Like, I never got hit by it. Like, either my hand was up, or like when it came, it slipped or something. Because I heard like a smacking noise, but it didn't catch me flush or whatever. But I remember saying that, and I'm like, I don't even remember him hitting me. Like, if that, it's not like, I'm that tough. I just think it didn't land as good. But that was a lot of fun. I wish it would have lasted a little longer, but I'm sure my hands would have been suffering more. Trying to get that bonus, either a knockout bonus, or I want to get that fight of the night bonus, because they don't give like a performance of the night bonus, because like I was an underdog coming off a loss, fighting a guy who's undefeated, who was a heavyweight, who cut down to come fight me. And then, and then I come out there and I didn't look like the underdog, and had that fight gone another 5 rounds, it would have just, because he's that tough. It wouldn't have gotten any better. It would have just gotten worse. But had that fight went 5 rounds, that's fight of the night, right?
Right, for sure. Did you hear anything about his medical?
I'm sorry. I finished the fight. My bad.
My bad. Did you hear anything about his medical? I think if the way he was reacting, I think you broke his orbital.
I don't know. I never heard, and Jay's one of those guys that's not going to let you know type of guy. So, which I respect. I'm the same way. Like, fuck that. I won't even go to the doctor to get checked out just so I can tell you that I don't know. Like, after the Lieben fight, they were like, man, your orbital had to have gotten broken. I'm like, fuck, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like, it was pretty swollen, and like for a while it was numb when I touched it, and I still kind of feel like numb sometimes, whatever. But what are they going to do? You know what I mean? Like, just let it heal type of deal. Like, it wasn't. I didn't look like Igor or anything, so it's not like it was that big of a deal. But I don't know what happened to him. I know that it hurt. It hurted a lot when I hit him, because I hit him in the ear one time, like right in front of the ear with a right. We were in the pocket, and he said, "Ow!" Like, he made like an owl face. I was like, damn.
I ain't gonna lie. I loved it. You towards the end. I loved it. You had your arm down. You had your face forward, like, come and get it, bitch, because I'm ready. And that arm was out of his sight, and you just sneak the jab up the middle, and it's beautiful. Did the job.
I know. And I land that, and it just gets me so crunk when it lands. So crunk, because it's really quick. Like, when you get hit with that, you realize how hard I hit, and you can't even comprehend it. And that's what I love, because when I see that look on your face, it's a look of realization. I think it's like all they're thinking in their head was, what in the fuck was that? And you can read it. You can read that on their face, and it's just, I love it, man. It just gets me fired up. That's when it hit. I was like, whoa, oh, now. Like, that's kind of where it went to.
I think it's the speed of it, too, because a lot of bare knuckles, a lot of hooks and stuff, and a lot of looping punches. A lot of the fighters will do a lot, because those are the power shots and make fights fun. But when you come straight up the middle, point A to point B, it's a lot faster. And, yeah, I think bare knuckle can take a lot of that with it, too. I think they're doing a good job going out getting boxers and stuff. You're gonna see some more technical instead of the brawls that everybody likes. It's gonna make some people mad, but you know what? Name of the game, baby.
Well, I mean, you're going to see the sport evolve as things start going on. As you know, within the rule set, you still got people that are fighting. You know, like I'm fighting before I was fighting with the mentality. Whether you've been training bare knuckle or not, you've still been doing MMA your whole life. That's the rule
Right.
set. That's your first nature. You know, that's something that you have. You haven't explored the full rule set of the fact that, you know, if we're fighting and we're in the side, I can grab your hand. You
Yeah.
know, boxers don't think about that. You know,
You got the
boxers never
glove.
grab anything. You got the gloves on, you know, so it's a good mix of both. And you're going to continue to see it. It's when the boxers start to learn how to be a little more rough. Because in real boxing, that's one of the things. Like Floyd Mayweather wouldn't have made it in bare knuckle boxing. What
No.
would Floyd Mayweather have done when Johnny Bedford grabbed a hold of him?
Get
You
to the
know,
back of the neck. You can grab.
and get thrown around like a rag doll up and down, you know. He's not gonna do that. You know, he fights in a rule set to where, like, if one of your drops of sweat drops on him when you're in there, like, oh no, stop, break it up. You know, so you know that's where Chop Chop Corley got his shit twisted when he came in there fighting Reggie Barnett.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't no boxing match, son. It's a whole different thing. And
Yeah,
that was what Reggie was saying before. And he showed him. Reggie took him out back and whooped him. That's what it was. He put a whooping on him. And it's like when somebody messes with your little brother, you know, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
here we go. Like that's how he whooped on him. And that's not what real boxing is about. Real boxing is pretty. Real boxing is about dancing, moving. You know, it's the sweet science. There ain't shit sweet about bare knuckle.
It's brawling, that's for sure. Quentin, I appreciate you coming on, man. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Social media, I am at Hero Henry, and then Facebook, I got a fan page. It's Quentin the Hero Henry. Hit me up on there. I don't do Twitter. I don't tweet. But the Instagram's pretty rocking. I usually stay on there pretty hard. Shout out to the sponsors: Airmid Hemp Extracts, Carmelo Toyota, BKFC. Appreciate you for the show, bro.
You're the man, brother.
Outlook. Traxler Chiropractic, can't forget them. Armed Forces, Roofing and Construction. My boy Clinton Cole, he beat me up if he found out I didn't shout him out. Trying to get beat up, Cole.
No, you got fights to do. Quentin, thanks, brother. Take it easy, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Later, brother.